All right, everybody, welcome in. This is a 5x5 strength style, cardio style, calorie burn class. Okay, so when I say 5x5, typically the classes that I teach here, we do several circuits and maybe we end up doing 12, 13, 14 different moves throughout the session. In this class, I teach 5 moves, right? So it's a little bit different, less variety, but by doing that, we get more rounds in. Our first round can be kind of a softer round, and then you really work hard the second, third, fourth, and if you make it to 5 rounds, the 5th round as well. That's 25 total minutes of hard work, and you can always take breaks. You can always modify moves. You can always skip an entire move and set it aside and do something else. I'm only going to show 5 moves. I'll show some options that you can do instead, some logical change-ups, if you will, but you can always pick from the other 50 moves that we teach as well. Anyway, shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. So it's going to be 5 rounds of the same 5 moves. And like I said, you can modify. We're going to warm up first here, shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs, bend, extend the elbows, roll the shoulders. This is the type of exercise that I do when I want to work out myself. It's a little bit more efficient, time efficient, and a little bit more focused, right? It's a little less creative because I'm not coming up with 13, 14, 15 different moves, but there's also less transition time, switch directions with the shoulders. There's less figuring out a move time, right? Learning and just kind of doing and working, right? That's the core of this concept here. Turn the head left and right. So on your first round, really get to know the move. And they might be moves you already know, they probably are. And then if you decide you're going to scrap a move and switch it out, hopefully you decide that in the first round so that you can really grind away at some calorie burning in the next few rounds. All right, let's jog and shake out the arms just for a second here. All right, nice wide feet, sink down, rotate the spine left and right. So I'm not twisting the knees, right? We're almost done with our soft warm up. Rotating the spine. You can bring the fists together like this, palms together, doesn't matter to me. You can swing the arms. All right, let's pause one direction, take a nice deep breath and expand the lungs and the ribs. Exhale, unwind and head to the other side. Nice deep breath, expand the lungs and the ribs. Exhale and unwind. All right, feet come closer together. Circles with the hips. Getting ready for our 5x5. I'm going to call it moderate to high intensity. It's really whatever intensity level you choose. I don't mean to intimidate us with how hard this is going to be, right? For me, it's very effective, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. Switch directions. All right, after this, we're going to get our heart rates up just a little bit, pedal the feet, and when you're ready, kind of jog in place. Jogging in place, getting the blood flowing. All right, here we go. Got to get all the muscles primed, all the soft tissues ready for movement. All right, side jacks are next. Tap the toe out, arms come up. So I said it's 25 minutes of work. That doesn't mean it happens in 25 minutes, right? We got to warm up. There's a little bit of transition time. I take a formal resting break after every set of 5 moves. So, it'll still be a normal, 45 something minute class. I don't know, just an estimate, but good amount of time to cycle the heart rate up and down and up and down. Good for calorie burning throughout the day. All right, add punching. These are not the moves, these are the warm-ups. Breathe in. Tapping the toe out. Adding a little punch. All right, arms come up. Squeeze the core as the knees rise and you pull down with the hands. Fists pull down, knees come up. Exhale and squeeze. Give it a good squeeze, give it a good squeeze. Almost done here, and let's get into our 5x5 series. Move number one, I love to start with this move. This is a plank. It helps to prime our spine, right? Keeps it in line, and that's too much rhyming. Anyway, I like to do the plank at the chair, but you could use a wall or a floor if you prefer. If you use a chair, make sure it has solid feet, not wheels, right? Then that's a scooter. We don't want to scoot around. Planks look like this. Heels, hips, shoulders, and ears in line. Tuck the chin back, eyes look down on the chair, nice tight core, and that's the posture, right? It's not a lot of movement. I'll get into more movement in our second, third, and fourth round, fifth round, where we start marching. But on our first round, I'm just gonna hold steady. You could have your hands on the ground like this, or elbows on the ground like this, and that is definitely the most intense version of the plank, especially if you pull your elbows toward your toes. No way I can last a minute doing that, but maybe you can. If you want to hold on to a wall, that works as well. Heels, hips, shoulders, and ears in a nice straight line, looking down on the wall, down on the floor, or down on the chair. Our first round, I have more descriptions, right? And then we start to build our pace as we go. I'm going to start our timer. Let's go here for our first minute. So here's our first move. Nice tight core, one of my favorite moves to start with almost any workout. And that, like I said, that's because it primes the spine for stability throughout the class. Give it a good exhale as you squeeze the abdominals. That helps to kind of intensify that contraction in the stomach muscles there, the abdominal muscles. The exhale. All right, after this minute, we've got a totally different move. We won't be doing the abdominals after this. It'll be our pivot squat for our legs. There's our timer. Coming on up. Slow and steady. All right, pivot squat looks like this, and I do have some modifications if your knees or hips are not allowing for a pivot squat today. Toes are forward. A pivot means as I step back, my toes and hips also open up. So I'm not just stepping straight back, right? I'm gonna open the toes and squat down. Back to center. Open the toes, open the hips, and squat down. Now, while I squat, I want to try to keep my spine in line. It doesn't have to be necessarily perfectly vertical. Hinging at the hips is okay, but we don't want to hunch at the back, okay? Here's what it looks like from the side. So I'm going to open up, squat, and then come forward. Open up, squat, and come forward. My toes aren't opposite directions. It's just a little bit of an open, squat, and switch sides. There's our pivot squat. While we're going there, I'm going to show you a couple of options for alternatives. Here's our timer. So this is a different muscle group. The timer's going. Get to those pivot squats if they work for you. You can have a vertical spine and do lateral leg raises if you prefer. These are for the glutes, okay? A little bit less of a muscle group as far as overall calorie burn goes. That's okay though. Use what you have, right? If you've got energy for this today and this feels more your pace or more accessible to you, do that one, okay? Do something else. You can also do one of our warm-up moves where we punch and step side to side. I'm gonna get to the last half of our pivot squat here for our first round. Arms are just here for balance, right? You decide on the depth of your squat. It doesn't have to be perfectly parallel legs with the ground, right? You don't have to go super duper low. You could be shallower, that'd be fine. Move after this, I'm gonna get some weights for our alternating biceps curl, okay? If you need more time there, go for it. You don't have to take a break just because I am. And also vice versa, you're welcome to take as many breaks as you need. All right, I'm gonna hold on to my weights, and this is an alternating biceps curl. Don't go too heavy for yourself, especially on a first round, right? This is where we're getting to know the moves. If later you found that I did 5 rounds and it wasn't that tough, then sure, maybe increase the intensity next time. But here we are. So left and right, eyes are forward, slow and steady with control. I need more resistance than that. because that's just, it's not burning calories for me unless I have a heavier challenge, right? I need a little bit more work for myself for that move. If you don't have heavier weights and you're feeling like, yeah, this is kind of easy, maybe do the lateral shoulder raises. That's usually not something that requires a whole lot of weight to make it hard. I'm gonna do the bicep curls today because I did shoulder raises yesterday. There's our timer. Here's my weights. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, shoulders back, chest up, alternating biceps curls. Breathing. By the way, this is move number 3 out of 5 in our 5x5 series, 5x5 circuit. Round 1, move 3. Curls alternating left and right. Biceps curls, slow and steady, good control. You don't want to swing the weights, right? That cheats you. It doesn't allow for the most muscle contraction and actually prevents some calorie expenditure, right? If you're using momentum. You also don't want to look left and right. You want to keep your eyes straight forward. Don't look at me. Don't look at the mirror if I'm to your side, whatever. Look straight ahead. There's our timer. Next move. This is a wide squat touchdown. Move number 4 out of 5. Here's a modification first. I'm going to show you the modifications first. Nice wide feet, squat down, and touch a chair. It's a modification because I don't have to go that low. Now the original move is where you touch the ground. I think that's too low for most people. I think it's kind of too low for me. So I don't really want to touch the ground over and over and over again for a minute. I use a weight, not because I'm super macho, even though I want to think so. It's because I use a weight as an extension of my arms. That way I don't have to reach as far, right? I don't have to squat as low. So I tap the ground with my weight, not getting as low, but there's a little bit of resistance there, so that's extra effort. That's nice. Don't trip over your weight though. Make sure it's out of your trip zone when you're walking around. Here's our timer. So you can modify by tapping a chair, but I would aim for nice wide feet. I'm modifying by actually holding a weight. Funny, it seems like it would make it harder, but for me, it makes it more accessible. More resistance, but it's less distance to travel. When you stand, try not to lock out the knees. When you take breaks, you want them to be intentional breaks. You don't want these locked out knees in between every repetition, giving yourself a sneaky break, right? An accidental break. When we want to burn calories, we want to burn calories. So stay low if you can, tap the weight, and don't come up all the way unless you need a break, right? Always allow a break if you want it, but if you don't want it, know when you're accidentally taking them, right? So if I lock my knees out, that's break time. And if you don't want that, then stay low. Tap the weight, tap the weight. Slow and steady, vertical spine. All right, I'm gonna set this out of the way for our 5th move here. Our 5th move, it's a good one. It is tipping and kicking, and this move does have some trip risk, right? So we wanna make sure our weights are out of the way and we're not tripping over yoga mats or rugs or carpets or whatever surface you're on, make sure you're completely on that surface, okay? So tipping and kicking looks like this. This is the end of our first round, by the way, and then we'll kind of pick up the speed in our next few. Tip and kick, tip and kick. You don't have to kick that high. These could be low kicks. They could be toe taps on the ground. That's a good modification for this. To make it harder, I like to tip and kick and add a little squat. So I tip and kick, touch the toe, and descend really steadily with control, okay? The other thing I like to do for, you can call it a modification, but to me this is just the standard. I like this move facing a wall because then I've got my stability down. I don't need to worry about tripping and stuff because I'm holding onto a wall. So I like to put a little bit of weight into the wall with a couple fingers, and that keeps it pretty safe for me. Last thing you could do here to make it really, really tough is stay low the whole time. I've been doing this lately, and I'll tell you what, it's really tough. Staying low the whole time, tip and kick. If you want a really good workout, my goodness. It is unnecessary, but I will say for me, if I have the energy, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use that energy. If it's toward the end of the workout and I'm all tuckered out, no way. Then I'll take the breaks that I need. All right, here's our timer. Timer's going. Tipping and kicking. I'm holding on to my wall, and I'm gonna add squatting in here. As I land with my foot, add a squat. As I land with my foot, add a squat. Like I said, this first round was mostly for learning the moves. If you already know the moves, you're probably already, you're getting ahead of yourself. That's okay, that's a good thing. You're getting your heart rate up early. On the next round, I'm gonna describe probably a little bit less, or at least I'm gonna get started a little bit faster, and you will hear me describe the move kind of as we go. All right, so 5 moves, that's all we got. 5 rounds, one of them down. I'm gonna get a sip of water after this, recharge on a brief break, and you can always take a longer break than me, that's fine. You can always skip a move entirely. You can always do a move 30 seconds and be done, right? Any variation of breaks. Get a sip of water here. That's our first round. Congratulations. You've seen all 5 moves today. While you're watching, go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on when I post new videos like this one. Have fun. My heart rate's up. I can feel it. So there are different heart rate zones. Some are best for endurance training. Some are best for weight management. This cycling intervals, spiking, up and down and up and down. I don't have a specific number for you because it's personal to everyone, but that up and down cycling of heart rate is best for burning calories, weight management. Later you'll have EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. It seems like I'm missing an E in there, but it's not. It's just EPOC. Anyway, that is triggered by all this interval training business that we're doing. I'm gonna get my chair here so that I can do planks again. Round 2, you decide if you're gonna be at the wall, nice tight core, floor, or a chair, or do something else entirely. Here's our timer. Squeeze the core, fairly straight line with the heels, hips, shoulders, and ears. Now, here's what I'm gonna add for this second round. We won't add something for every move, but for this one, if you want, I'm gonna start marching. Squeezing the core, exhaling, and bringing the knee up. I like a little bit more movement. On that first round, I think it's really good to stabilize and do an isometric contraction, just squeeze and hold. Now I'm moving though. Okay, again, just as a reminder, if you want to increase the intensity to the highest level, elbows on the ground and pull the elbows down toward your hips, toward your toes, and pull your toes up toward your elbows. Now, it's not going to look like I'm moving much, because technically I'm not. I'm fighting against the world here. But squeeze, nice tight core, pull, pull, pull. And there's no way I can do a whole minute of that, so I gotta relax out of it. And then pull again whenever you're ready. And there's our timer actually. So I'm gonna get up nice and slow, nice and steady. Move number 2, pivot squat. You go your own depth, you decide. Here's our timer. Squat, step forward. Open up the hip, squat. Step forward, pivot squat. Looks just like that. If you wanted an alternative, vertical spine, glute, abduction. Go slow with this though, right? Momentum's not your friend on this one. It makes you move more, but it kind of allows you to do it without effort, without work. You want work, you want effort if you want to burn energy, calories, right? Fuel. All right, here we are. So pivot squat and switch. Great work, everybody. 23 seconds left. You might even slow these down. Slower is not necessarily worse, right? Sometimes it's better. Slow and controlled means less momentum. Body's got to work hard. Sinking down. This is move number 2 out of 5. There's our timer. Shake it out. Alternating bicep curls. I think I had my right foot forward last time. I'm gonna have my left foot this time forward, just to alternate and kind of vary that work symmetrically on my stabilization muscles. All right, get a weight that works for you. Foot forward, 1 foot back. If this is too easy, if you don't have enough weight, you could try stacking some weight into a grocery bag. Do some resistance bands. I don't have bands, so I can't show those. Do gallons of milk, I don't know. Or change the move entirely. Do a different move. Do a move from a previous week. Maybe do squat, press, right? To burn calories in a different way entirely. So in the end, we will have done 5 of each of these, which also not only is efficient for calorie burn, it really does target certain muscle groups. We're getting a little bit more focus on the biceps here, doing the same thing 5 times. Might be sore differently tomorrow. That's all right. So you might want a recovery Qigong class or something like that. I don't know. All right, shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. Next up, wide squat touchdown. So if you want to touch the ground, great. Just make sure you're not rounding the spine. Don't do this. Don't round the back, okay? Keep the shoulder blades back, and it's really hard for me to squat that low. Leg split a chair, tap the chair, or hold on to a weight here. Here's our timer. Take all the time you need getting there. And I'm gonna hold on to a weight as I tap. Tap. Trying not to lock my knees out up high. Trying to continually move and use the fuel, use the gas. It's a good idea to have a consistent place to put your weights, by the way. That way they're not moving around the room a lot and becoming an increased risk of tripping over them. You want to decrease those tripping risks. Minimal to no setbacks, right? You don't want to be out for 3 weeks or 3 months on a sprained ankle. So set them aside in a consistent location, hopefully. Tap the weight. This is move number 4 out of 5. Great work. I might need a break here. Oh boy. Round 2, to me, feels a lot harder than round 1. Okay, next up, tipping and kicking. I'm gonna get this chair out of the way because I almost kicked it last time. I like to face a wall. You can tip and kick high, tip and kick low, tip and kick and add a squat, or stay low the whole time. All right, you decide what works for you. Here we go, friends. All right, awesome job today, by the way. If you made it this far, congratulations. You're almost halfway there. The nice thing, so this is actually where it gets really daunting for me, is round 2. Because I know what's coming. It's the same moves and there's 3 rounds left. But the nice thing is, after our next round, we won't be halfway there. We'll be over halfway there. Right, we'll be 60%. We'll be beyond the halfway mark after our next round. And no pressure to do 5 full rounds. You don't have to, right? There's no magic number here. There's a lot of biology and physics and chemistry that goes on with weight management, but there's no magic to this number 5 rounds. It's good to cycle up and down with your heart rate, but take the breaks that you need and end when you need to, right? Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Breathe in. That's the end of round 2. I'm gonna get some water here. Take a break, take a break. I mean, if you wanna keep on jogging, you can, but I'm definitely taking a break. Wow, wow, wow. Breathing, breathing, breathing. All right, I'm ready for round 3. If you're not ready yet, hold off until you're ready, right? I'm gonna get going here. Here's our plank for round 3. By the way, if any of these moves were like, no way, that's not working for me, tell me. Please tell me. Write a comment. Write it down and say that second move didn't work. That fourth move didn't work. I want to know so that I can offer modifications in the future and make this better for you. Even though I know you've seen the other moves, you can pull from those. Sometimes it's hard to think of these on the spot. Squeeze the core, marching the knees if you like. Again, you could be on the floor, you could be at the wall. Squeeze the abdominals with an exhale. Awesome job, everybody. Really efficient, really focused way to work out. All right, next up, pivot squat. So here is our timer. Step back, tap and squat. Tap toe and squat. You decide on the depth, right? You might even face a wall and hold on to it. That'd always be fine, especially as we go further and further into a workout. We get more and more fatigued. And when we do that, things do get riskier. Things get a little bit more sketchy, so we want to make sure we're safe. Safety first. So like I said, we got about like 50 different exercises, and this is only 5 of them. So there are a lot of combinations we can do without even seeing the same exercise twice. That being said, it's fine to do the same exercise twice, right? We'll mix and match them. There are probably hundreds of classes we can make out of 50 exercises, 5 by 5. And I'll tell you what, I'm picky about them. I don't do just any exercise that I see on the internet. I gotta do it a lot first, believe in it, and know that it's safe before I introduce you to a class. So you're welcome to share exercises with me, and I'll let you know if I feel like I can include them. All right, move number 3, alternating bicep curls. Here we go. Round 3, alternating bicep curls, shoulder blades back, chest up, 1 foot forward, and we're curling, slow and steady. Again, if you want to do something else, that's fine. Overhead press, lateral shoulder raises, just whatever you do, be safe with it, please. Pretty please. Breathing, good work. Slow and steady wins the race. Couple breaths in through the nose if you can. After this, wide squat touchdown. There's our timer. Set them down, set them down. Wide squat touchdown, here we go. I'll do the modification this time that I did not do the last couple times. I've been holding a weight and tapping. That's probably what I would do for myself, but it's not all about me. Okay, I'm getting a good workout here too, but this is for you guys. So nice wide feet, tapping the chair. And for me, this isn't quite low enough. I might want to tap a stool, or maybe just come down lower, tap the underside of the chair. I don't know. Oh, that's working. That's good for me. Okay. If you would like, try tapping the ground. Just don't hunch the spine, right? Don't do this. Okay, sink down. Push the bottom back. Hinge at the hips. Yeah, that's pretty low for me. I'm gonna go back to my weight. I just like it so much. I'm gonna get a lighter weight this time and see how I do. Breathing, good work, everybody. By the way, this is move number 4 out of 5 for our 3rd circuit. You know what that means? Or our 3rd round of the circuit. We have crossed the halfway point. We already have. So we're over halfway there. Move number 5, tipping and kicking. Here we go. Tip and kick, there's our timer. Get all the trip hazards out of the way. Tip and kick, do a couple slow ones, do a couple low ones. Add a squat. Controlled descent on the squat, right? You wanna control it down. You don't wanna slam down. Better for your joints if you slow it down, and it uses more energy because you're using your muscles, you're using your strength to steady yourself down. Or stay low. Oh boy. Round 3 gets tough. All right, this is where we start to bargain and decide, are we gonna do 4 rounds or are we gonna do 5 rounds? I don't know. I'd encourage you to fight through fatigue, but don't push through pain, right? If you're getting something sharp, back off. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to stop the whole workout, but you wanna stop doing the thing that hurts, if that happens. All right, there's our timer. I'm gonna get some water. Did I mention great job, everybody? Great job, everybody. Go ahead and click the like button while you're watching so that YouTube can recommend it to others as well. Thank you so much. It's hard to drink water when I'm out of breath. And 2 rounds left. We're right around the corner. Here we go. All right, planks. I'm gonna do the floor one. Why? Because I feel like it. I don't know. I just chose. Here we go. Here's our timer. 1 minute. You decide if you're at the chair, the wall, squeeze the core. Eyes down on the floor, eyes down on the chair, eyes down on the wall. And take your time getting here. If you want to skip this entire move and just do moves 2, 3, 4, and 5, that's always okay. All right, if you want to come down to your elbows and pull them toward your toes, do the best you can. Do your best, forget the rest, right? Fight through fatigue, but don't push through pain. We've got 27 seconds left. 20. 15. Does that make it worse? It makes it worse for me. I don't want to look. Good work, good work. We're almost done. Fighting through fatigue. Almost on to the next move. Ready, and there we are. Yeah, I don't know if you guys like the countdown, but I'll tell you what, I didn't. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Okay, pivot squat. Stepping, squatting. The depth is entirely up to you, right? Go shallower if your knees bug you by going too low. Here's what it might look like. Timer's going. It might be small. It might be tiny. All right, they could just be steps. Maybe just stepping. Maybe you're doing a bow and arrow thing, okay? Change it as long as it's safe. Step and squat. Step and squat. So like I said, these 5x5s takes a little bit of the entertainment out of it because we're not getting to change every 3 moves or so, right? We're not doing 15 different moves. But the benefit here, for me anyway, when I'm working out on my own, outweighs that entertainment for me because I'm able to really focus and grind away at burning calories the rest of the class. That being said, do what you enjoy. If you like the classes where you're getting more moves in and more rounds, I want to know that because then I can do more of them, right? I can share more of those. So let me know if you like both, that's fine. I like both, so if you like both, that's fine. Here's our bicep curl, alternating left and right. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I don't know which foot I'm on, but I'm going left foot forward this time. All right, while we're going here, I'm gonna describe something. Notice, my weights are going up and down at opposite times. If you're getting tired, another option is to completely alternate your repetitions. So right up and down, left up and down. Right up and down, left up and down. Or if you've got a bunch of energy left, you can alternate simultaneously, if that makes any sense. One is up and one is down at all times. This is move number 3 out of 5. And yep, I'm pretty warm. All right, set these down, shake it out. What's next? Wide squat touchdown. Wow. It's our second to last one, by the way. You can get to the chair, tap, tap, tap. You can touch the ground. I'm gonna hold on to a weight. I'm gonna go with a lighter weight this time though, right? Toward the end of the exercise. I don't need to go for brute strength. I'm just burning calories, right? I'm just going through the motions, squeezing a little bit, making sure I'm not taking sneaky breaks by locking my legs out, right? Unless it's intentional. If you want to take an intentional break though, I still wouldn't lock my legs out. I would just come out of it entirely. All right, going for it here. Speaking of sneaky breaks, all my descriptions give me quite a bit of break time, don't they? You guys have a harder workout than me, I think. Tapping up, tapping up. Slow and steady, good control. Sometimes I stay low the whole time like this. Ooh, that's really tough. Oh no. Isometric squat low if you want. Mix and match, entertain yourself with that. All right. Okay, after this, one move left for our 4th round. There's our timer. Hooray. This is the point in the exercise where I get really excited about the timer when it comes. All right, tipping and kicking. High, low, add a squat, or stay squatted down the whole time. I'm gonna hold on to my wall because it's my friend. The wall is useful. Tip and kick, add a squat. Tip and kick. If you like to add a squat, go for it. And it doesn't have to be a low one. Nice tight core for a protected spine. Not really locking the knees out, by the way. I don't think I've said that yet. I'm not trying to whip the knee and give it whiplash, right? I'm just getting the leg up a little bit and squeezing. Give an exhale as you kick, maybe. This is the end of round 4. By the way, if you planned on doing 4 rounds, you're right there. If you planned on doing 5 rounds, awesome. I'm gonna stick with 1 more round. What I really like about the end of a workout is it becomes more and more efficient, more and more effective. I'll explain that in just a second. Here's our timer. Come out of it, get some water. Okay, so your first round, not that hard, right? Not as hard because your muscles aren't tired yet. These last couple rounds, more work, more effort, more return on investment. So your time spent now, it's almost like exponentially, or it's like a, what's that? Compounding interest. You're more tired now, so it takes more fuel, burns more calories to do this last set than the first set. So I get really excited about the last sets. So I like to really fight through the fatigue, and I'm not just begging you guys to stay longer. Do what's safe for your body, right? I just find, when I'm on a treadmill, or I'm never on a treadmill. When I'm on a stair climber, the last 5 minutes are the best 5 minutes. I know they're the hardest, but it's like I worked out twice if I do 5 more minutes for me. All right, here's our timer. Planks are up. You decide how you want to do them. I'm going to do them at the chair. This is my favorite way to do the planks. I think it's just the right height for me. You decide if you're marching the knees, squeezing the core, dripping on your chair maybe. I am. Breathe in. Tuck the chin back. Might be looking down at the ground if you're on the ground. Might be looking down at the wall if you're at the wall. Keep on going there. We've got, 17 seconds left. I'm just moving over to the wall for another angle. work, good work. Pivot squats are next. Our friend, the pivot squat. Move number 2. Here we go. Timer's going. Sink down to your preferred depth. Open up the hips to your preferred width. Slow it down to your preferred speed. You get a lot of choices here. And also, remember that vertical spine, lateral leg raise if you prefer that. Look at me, I'm kicking my chair. Speaking of trip hazards, should listen to myself. All right, I'm gonna go slow and steady. Final round. All right. Control, control, control. 20 seconds left. We got 3 moves left after this for 5 total rounds. If I counted right, sometimes, you know, counting. All right, 5 seconds left. Can I get one more in? I think I can. There we go. Alternating bicep curls. Take your time getting there. I'm gonna go right away. Here's our timer. 1 foot forward and go your own pace. If the weight feels heavy, you really wanna slow it down, okay? If it feels light, you might be able to cruise through with some decent speed, but you still wanna be in control the whole time. If it feels heavy, you gotta slow it down, not to make it easier, but to make it more effective and to make it safer. Tuck the tail, vertical spine. We don't wanna jut the bottom out. We don't wanna lean. We don't wanna swing. Breathe. I sound like a control freak. It's because I care. Right. Great work, everybody. We're right around the corner from being done. I'm not going to do a stretch formally in this class, but I will be stretching afterwards. So if you need a stretch class, go check out that after exercise stretching video, right? If you want to cool down formally with me, you can do that. But I would recommend getting some kind of recovery in at the end. 2 moves left. What are they? Wide squat touchdown, nice wide feet, tapping the weight or tapping a chair, whatever you got. Here's our timer. I'm gonna go slow and steady with control, and I'm gonna stay low myself. Second to last move. Great work today. Keep the shoulders back, spine fairly straight. Breathing. Okay, I'm just showing you different angles here. Eyes are forward. 1 move left. My quadriceps are pretty donezo, guys. Tipping and kicking is next. Here comes the timer for our squat touchdowns. There we go. By the way, no pressure to ever make it through the whole minute. I stop early often, so that's okay. All right, tipping and kicking. Do the version that you want to do. Here's our timer, and she's counting. Tip and kick. Doesn't have to be high. Don't have to flail the leg. Could be low, could tap on the ground, could hold onto a wall, might add a squat. Remember those bonus points while we're tired, using more energy now. Also higher risk though, so when you're fatigued, fall risk is increased, tweaking your knees and ankles and neck and stuff is increased. So be in control, right? Tighten up, especially at the end. Great work. Just about done here. Tip and kick. I'm staying low for the last few seconds. fight through fatigue, but don't push through pain. We're done. There's our timer. Awesome job, my friends. Hey guys, one last thing. If you would like to help spread this channel to other people on YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the like button, and that'll help YouTube decide that this video is good enough to share with other people. So if you like it and you want other people to see it, go ahead and click those buttons, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.